Hello, welcome to another stream. How about that? How about that? Welcome, welcome, welcome. So today is Saturday, and that means today, according to the schedule, we are doing a game development in C++. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Hello, Woodness. Hello, Igoduk. Hello, Yatanasov. Hello, Half Grape, Kolumbetka, Tershal, Cut Peasant, Kapna Cash, Draco 401, Jun. Hello, hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. So, as already mentioned, today is a game development. Hello, Neko420. Jesus fucking Christ! Yatanasov, what the fuck?
Hey, good stream, Mr. Zazin.
Thank you so much for 9 months. of tier 1 subscription. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and welcome to our Epic Game Development Club. That's a pretty long support. Thank you so much for such a generous and continuous support, and thank you for warm wishes. So you can find the source code of the game that we've been developing for quite some time here. It doesn't have any name, so it has a code name something. And today we're gonna simply continue developing this entire thing. So let me actually go to Team Mucus and check the status. And yeah, we're currently not on the master branch. Let me go to the master branch and merge origin master. Okay, so apparently we have everything, so I might as well actually try to delete all of these branches. I'm pretty sure we already merged all of them, so let me try to delete them. Not all of them are fully merged. All right, so that's okay. And I think, yes, so here's something. Fetch, did I forget fetch? I think I forgot fetch. Yeah, thank you so much. I don't know what the fuck is going on with me, but yeah. Okay, merge origin master, and now we're talking. Thank you so much. I think I'm tired already. I just only started and I'm already fucking tired. And we have a plan to make a game of the year, right? And I'm already tired. What the fuck? I need my vodka. All right. Alright, seems good. And let's take a look at the game. Right, so this is how it looks like. You can do pew pew pew. Recently we added different kinds of projectiles. So we can pew pew with fire, you can pew pew with potatoes. It's supposed to be like some sort of a rock, but this is the only asset that I found that resembles like rocks, but it looks like potato. And we have like ice projectiles. And we also have a way to, like, to place blocks and whatnot. Right. And yeah, that's the game. You can also have different enemies. You can also have like items and stuff like that. They have AI, and that's Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, so that's the game. If anyone is interested, so the source code is already mentioned, available on the GitHub. And today we're gonna simply continue developing this potential game of the year. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Game of the Year when it's released. Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry. On the previous stream, we were working on a new weapon system, and I still haven't merged it yet. Because something I discovered after the stream, that I actually introduced a bug into the weapon system. And I wanted to fix it through, during the week, and I never came around to actually fixing it. So I guess we can fix it right now. Hello, Chromosome Drift. Welcome. Mr. Sim doesn't have BTTV, and FFZ feels weird, man. I'm really sorry, I broke my Chitterino again. So after the stream, I'll have to fix it yet again. I was experimenting with Qt installation, and it's just like a really... It was really weird, and I started to use like a app image version of Chitterino, and app image version of Chitterino is buggy and slow. So I decided to just stream again with the web version. I promise I'm gonna fix Chitterino again, and I will try not to touch my Qt installation ever again, so I can have Chitterino. Or at least I can install BTTV or FFZ, but I mean, it's gonna make my setup even slower. 50 years software dev experience. Yes, anyway. Let's actually take a look at what got broken. So this is the new weapon system. It's branch 284, I presume. 284. Let's actually go there. So yeah, what is the new weapon system? Let me try. Where's the... this is because I'm in the wrong branch. Hello, Matt Zeus A03. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? This is not what I went just to check out. Weapon. There we go. So this is our new weapon system. So it's just several structures and enumeration. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And something got really broken there. Let me rebuild everything and I'm gonna demonstrate you. So the gun weapons, like we have two kinds of weapons, right? Okay. We have two kinds of weapons. We have guns and placers. So placers are about placing blocks, right? Because in the game you can also place blocks. Something got really broken there. Okay, so I have to rebuild first. Every time I'm trying to explain something, some sort of error happens in the middle of explanation and I have to fix it and, you know, interrupt my explanation and... God damn it. Life is hard, boo-hoo. Life is hard. How everyone is doing, by the way. How everyone is doing during these pandemic times. So you can do pew pew pew, you can do pew 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 with different projectiles. But the problem actually starts to appear when you add placers. So let's actually add placers. Doing again sitting at home, nice. Do you also work at home? I can imagine yes. So is it comfortable to work at home? Because I've been working at home like for almost 5 years. So yes, okay, cool. The only problem like working at home is, you know, separating mentally your home activities and work activities, so they sort of blend together and becomes kind of difficult. Yeah. The office, it was better for me. Yeah, separating. Yeah, I understand the struggle. Hello, Hemikovi, welcome. How are you doing? So what I was trying to do, I was trying to go to entities, find the player entity constructor, and this is where we add new weapons. I wonder if it would make sense to, you know, add a method to entity to push a new weapon. That would be cool, I think. Again, I think it would be way more convenient than whatever the fuck I'm doing here. I think right now this is kind of dumb. So let me quickly do that. So I'm gonna go to the entity. Actually, entity header. I want you to go to entity header. And what kind of stuff we have here? So we can get a current weapon. You should be able to also push a weapon. So you push a weapon, you also provide the weapon, and it just pushes that weapon to your inventory. And the question is how it's gonna react when we're, you know, pushing too many weapons. I think for now I'm gonna just put an assert and crash the game, and later we can figure it out. But if I worked at the office, I couldn't attend streams at these times. Feels okay, man. Oh, yeah, I see. Yeah. It's kind of difficult to do this kind of stuff. At some works. Kind of SDF, but I have a coffee, so pretty nice. Currently cleaning and moving stuff around. Nice. That's cool. And how are you doing? It's actually quite good. So, like 2 weeks ago, the battery in my laptop has died, and I ordered a new one, so it finally arrived. So I actually went to the computer store where I ordered the battery, and I got it. I bring it home, but I didn't put it into the laptop yet because I got the battery right before the stream, so I didn't want to experiment too much with my setup before the stream. So if it works, don't touch it. Right, so, great. Yeah, I mean, my previous battery has died, pretty much. Well, it didn't die, it just stopped charging, like, at all. So I just took it out and I was just using, like, a charger. It's, for 2 weeks I've been using laptop through a charger without any battery. And now I got a replacement. I think it's in my backpack. Somewhere there. It's too far away. I have short hands. Do you guys like unboxing? I don't know what the fuck is this brand. I just ordered something and this is what they gave me. So okay. Alright. This backpack had moved in weeks. No, I just place it usually on the same like place here because it's sort of like a habit. And if we take this out, all right, there's a receipt and there's instructions and there's something weird. Wait a second. Okay, so there's instructions, receipt, and there's this back, and here's the new battery. How about that? That's the new battery. I just need to put it in. And there's also somewhere the old battery that has died. Here's the dead battery. Here's the dead battery. And here's the new one. And now I'm afraid that I'm gonna confuse them. I'm just joking, they look different here, so it doesn't matter. Anyways. So, hope you guys like this unboxing. Alright, let's continue. Yeah. How about this unboxing content? Alright. So again, we need to implement a simple function that pushes a new weapon to an entity. Just fucking pushes a new weapon into the entity. Alright, entity. So should be relatively straightforward. Yeah, it's kind of MongoDB, but that will simplify our process of constructing entities, I hope. So we need to assert some stuff. Entity HPP. So what I'm trying to improve here, player entity, is just, I don't want to do this shit, like it's kind of dumb, right? So we have an internal weapon array, and I set weapon slots count to 2, and then I put a weapon, like this is dumb, like come on, seriously. So let's just have like a push weapon. Anyways, so we're gonna assert weapon slots count. So here is a weapon slots count, and we're gonna make sure that it's always less than this, and then weapon slots. Then classical trick of taking a counter, doing ++, taking the previous state of the counter, and just copying a weapon inside of it. And I wonder, like, we have to be a little bit careful with the weapon current, right? But because it might be invalidated. Well, it could be only invalidated when you remove the weapon. So in case of a push, it like weapon current is not invalidated. So we don't have to worry about that in this particular case. Okay, so I'm totally happy with that. So let's do something debuggers. Something debuggers. Alright, so now when I'm constructing a player entity, I don't have to do this stupid shit, because it's stupid. What I can do now is entity push weapon, water gun, like that, then fire gun, and maybe something like ice block placer. There we go, and I don't have to think about this shit anymore. Nice. Should have implemented that in the first place. So let me see if I didn't break anything first of all. Something debuggers. Everything seems to be okie dokie, and now I'm gonna enable this thing. Fire gun, exactly Octal. By the way, hello Octal, how are you doing? And here's the interesting part. Yeah, we don't have a single placer, and we also don't have a visualization of where you can place them. We used to have them, but now we don't, which is kind of sad, and this is not intentional. Also, we don't have anything in the placer, so maybe we should go to the weapon and extend ice like block placers to accept the amount, like initial amount. So something like amount 0 and amount 0. I think that would be actually kind of cool. Right, dirt block placer, amount, and result placer amount, ice block, same shite. What's up, Asian Green? Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Really glad to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so now if I go to the entity here and I do like a block placer, I can add more blocks there. So yeah, I'm pushing the weapon and I'm saying that this is how many blocks I want to have there. So this kind of thing is customizable now. Okay, so let's try to run it. And yeah, exactly, we have 2 of them and I can place them. So the only problem we have right now is visualization. So visualization of the weapon is not triggered at all, and this is the problem. At least it works if I add different kinds of placers, like instead of ice I also have dirt block placer. Right, dirt block placer. So right, so I can place dirt, I can place ice, and I can place different things here. Everything seems to be okay. So yeah, so the problem seems to be only in visualization. It seems to be only in visualization. Let's see. So weapons, the amount is not changing. Is it really? Oh, I didn't notice. Oh yeah, it's also not changing. Thank you so much. So could be another bug. Hello, Ep.N+5. I hope I pronounced the nickname correct. Welcome. So yeah, let's see what exactly could be wrong here. So we have an icon. So when you do a shoot, it should actually decrease, but it doesn't. And I wonder why. It's kind of cringe, not gonna lie. And also this rendering doesn't really work. Do we even call that thing anywhere? So I'm gonna introduce this like error now. Alright, so if I go to a header, a render, and I just do something like that, is it gonna even complain? It is complaining, okay. So when we're rendering things, we're taking, yeah, so we're taking the current weapon of a player and we call a render for that thing. And if something, where's the weapon? Alright, we take a look at the type of that weapon. Right, if it's a gun, we don't do anything. If it's a placer, it should render at least something, for sure. It should render at least something, but it doesn't render anything, and that is really strange. That is really strange. So, and also when we're shooting, the placer also doesn't change. It's another problem. Okay, so I have another maybe it's just rendered outside. Maybe it's just rendered outside. There's like an easy way to test that, I think. Essentially we can just do rect 00 tile size, and that will be always on the screen. So it will be in left corner, top left corner, and if it will be there, that means there is a bug in this particular expression. It's probably goes somewhere outside of the screen. That could be the case. That could be the case. Okay. What's up, apparently potatoes? Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Yo, sir. Nice. Okay, so I have to put underscore here. I hope I won't forget to remove that underscore. Okay, so what do we have? No matching int. Okay, so this is not an int. Hello, Luke Gorilla. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? What's up? What's up? So float const. No matching function candidates are. This is a really strange error. Ah, I see. I remember. It has to be a vector. Yeah, so this point has to be a vector. I remember that. I do remember that. Alright, and then we haven't used that thing. Okay, can I just disable this stuff? Like this? Just give me a warning. Okay, thank you, finally. So, if I take a look at that... Okay. It doesn't even render anything in the top left corner, even though it's supposed to. So something really strange is going on. And this function is called for sure. Right, we can even confirm that by doing something like println, like saying weapon, wrong order of drawing. Of drawing what? Of drawing what? Weapon render is called. The ground covered, maybe. Let's actually find out. Okay, so it is called. Maybe that's the case. Maybe I'm overcomplicating everything. Let me see. So in the game, so we render projectiles. We render entities, and only then we render the weapon. So items, no. The background is actually rendered like somewhere there, like completely far away. Okay, so flip none. Color can place. Placer I found it. Yeah, I was using amount as an index in the... Okay, that is very dumb bug, not gonna fucking lie. This is really... And I want... Oh my god, this is so bad. So this is yet another like a bug that could have been prevented by the type system if I use type system correctly. Yeah, instead of like looking up in the array, I should have like a function that accepts like very strong tile type and does not allow you to put anything else but the tile type, because amount is not a tile type. Yeah, so it's like a weak typing problem. Yeah, it's a weak typing problem. Jesus Christ. All right. Fucking classic. Fucking classic. And now if I switch there, you can see that in the corner. So if I go and replace this thing with that now, yeah, and that works now. That works now. It renders it and shows where you can place it, where you cannot place it. Okay, this one is fixed. But here's another thing. It doesn't update the amount. And the question is it infinite now? So the easiest way to check that is to actually... this bug is fixed, by the way. This bug is fixed. We're gonna go and try to fix another one. So we almost fixed a lot of bugs. Isn't that epic? I think it's pretty goddamn epic. Excuse me. Excuse me. Let's just run it, and everything looks okie dokie karaoke. So I kind of want to like actually separate some of these things. Yeah, I want to introduce this as a separate committee. So this one is going to be separate committee. Yeah. Make add a mount parameter to placers constructors. Okay, and I also want to introduce this thing as a separate thing as well. Push weapon. So wait for implement entity push weapon. Okay, cool. Fix placer rendering bug. So this is another thing, placer rendering bug. Push that right into the Reaper. Cheers, by the way. So now I need to fix that really strange bug of you know, counter not updating. This one is really weird. I want to go to the entities. I'm going to go to the entities. Where's the player constructor? Where's the player constructor? Player entity. And I'm gonna actually give the amount 1. I'm gonna give the amount 1, and that will we will run out of the blocks like almost instantly, and we'll see if it's just a visual bug or not. So it is not a visual bug. What the fuck? I do have infinite amount of them. We don't really check anything apparently. Okay, so let's just go and see what's wrong there. Weapon CPP. So when I do a shoot, can place, and placer has a mount greater than 0. So I don't see a bug here. Where's the bug? I literally didn't see a bug. Why wouldn't reduce? You can place it and the amount is greater, so you actually place it. Alright, so what if I don't place it? Will it affect anything? Yeah, will it affect anything? Yeah, it doesn't place it, and then why amount is not reduced? Why amount is not affected? Okay, let's actually go into the debugger. Oh shit. God damn it. God damn it, I think I'm dumb. Yes, I know what is going on. Get current weapon. Welp. By the way, Rust compiler would actually complain about that, as far as I know. I think it would complain, or at least the linter, because it will tell you you're trying to modify a temporary object and it doesn't affect anything. Alright, so let's actually go to the compilation errors now, and that should be fixed automatically now, once we fix them. Yep. Oh yeah, and it shouldn't be, okay, so, yeah, okay, so it shouldn't be constant. Yeah, that makes sense, okay. Let's remove const there. Have you tried find star? But I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay, so if the type is that, holding down, sure. Anything else? And debated? I have no idea what you guys talking about. What debated what? Okay, whatever. Now, this is what we have to do here. So then we shoot, and then we do this kind of thing. Should work now. Okay. Okay, now it works. So that was fixed. Yeah. So essentially, I was actually modifying the copy of the weapon. Was modifying the copy instead of, you know, an actual thing. And I'm pretty sure in Rust, this kind of shit would not compile. I'm pretty sure about that. Let's actually find out. Let's do main.rs and see. I'm really curious. So if you have a structure, right? So let's call it weapon. Let's call it weapon, and you have something like a mount, right? So is it like I32? Is this how we do that? I think. Now, if we have implementation for like weapon, it has to be slightly different. So I can do something like get fn get weapon, right? Get current weapon. You get current weapon and you return a weapon right away, and then I can just return. I don't even have to return anything here, and the amount is going to be 69. Right, cool. So we're going to have implementation of a weapon, and if I have something like a shoot, right, which takes a mutable self, of course, which takes a mutable self, and in the self amount it just decreases it by 1, and that's pretty much it. So if you try to do something like this, right, I'm pretty sure the compiler will complain you saying that you're doing something stupid. Let's find out. Let's see, main RS. Tell me that I'm doing something stupid. No, it was totally okay. Okay, even Rust won't tell us anything. That's really interesting. I was actually quite sure that it will tell me something because I'm like modifying temporary object, right? That is, but maybe that modifying of that temporary object does some sort of like important side effect that you want to see, like something like important side effect. So maybe you're modifying the state of that object for an important side effect. So it's not, it's the definition whether it's wrong or right is quite blurry. Like it depends on what you're trying to achieve. Yeah. So I see why it could be like that. And if you try to run it, maybe your goal is to see that important side effect, and you got your important side effect, and the state that was important for that side effect is, you know, got disposed, something like that. So yeah, it's more of a philosophical problem, so that's why I wouldn't complain about that. Haven't even had a breakfast and this guy is already fixing bugs. Well, I mean, I actually woke up 6 hours ago, so yeah. Oh, what's up, Thrash, by the way? Welcome to the stream. It's sounding... God damn it. I have a question. How do you perfectly blend in with JavaScript developers? Let me think. You have to have a MacBook, first of all. And shit ton of stickers on a MacBook. I don't know. I don't know. I don't really talk to JavaScript developers. I'm sorry. You have to use Visual Studio Code. Hello, Draco87. Hello, it is my fault. Welcome. Alrighty. Oh, you also have to program in JavaScript. I think the most reliable way to blend in with JavaScript developers is to program in JavaScript. I guess. I don't know. fix weapon amount not updating bug, and I think we're ready to actually finally merge this goddamn pull request. How about that? I know 2 JS devs that bought MacBooks to learn JS. PogChamp. No cap. I see. You can't program in JS without MacBook. Maybe, I don't know. Well, I mean, I don't have a MacBook, and boom, look at that, look at that. Can your MacBook do that? I don't think so. Hello, mcourse94. Hello, Doname. Welcome, welcome. How? Okay, so I want to actually do a little bit of cleanup, because I want to reuse our push weapon throughout all of the constructors, not only the entity one. So here, instead of that, I want to do entity push weapon ice gun, English. I don't speak English, I'm sorry. I tried to learn English at school, but by the way, I had the worst grades, like English grades in my school, seriously. Well, I mean, that probably shows. I don't know how. But yeah. To be fair, I always had bad grades, like, at any subject, because I never did homework. Well, I barely did it. Like, yeah, I did like a bare minimum just to not get expelled, and that's it. Yeah. Weapon. Okay, so they use the default weapon. Wait a second, do enemies even have any weapon? Enemy entity, that's really kind of strange. It's Hackintosh, I exposed you. Ah, god damn it. Hello, arrest everybody. Make a Skype call to your teacher so she will be happy. I'm not sure. My university teacher, like English teacher, is actually super happy about me, because in university I started to take English seriously when I realized that this is the career path I want to take, like software development and stuff like that. So in university I was really good at English. So, but in school, before I realized what I wanted to do with my life, I didn't really care about English. And back in my days, internet was not such big of a thing, so I didn't really learn English on the internet. Majority of the teenagers, Russian teenagers these days, they actually speak a very decent English, and they primarily learn it on the internet. So you should eat a hot potato to better speak English. I don't know, I like Russian accent. Okay. Key comrade accent. Yes. Key comrade accent is the best. Okay. Key comrade accent stream. Yeah. All right, so it's kind of weird. So if I add this thing, oh, I see. Okay. Apparently, potatoes. Apparently, get current weapon may fail, and I didn't take that into account. Shit. I saw you use GDB TUI as a debugger, but as an Emacs user, what do you think about Emacs GDB frontend? It's horrible. Is it just a habit that you use the former? Also a habit as well. So, hello, by the way, hello. Yeah, I already said hello to you, mcourse94. All right. So I need to take that into account somehow. I'm not sure how I'm going to take that into account. The easiest way to take that into account would be to make entities, not entities, but get current weapon, return maybe weapon pointer. Right. You may say that maybe like returning pointer is enough, right? Because you know, you can return null if it's not available, but then you may forget to check for null. Maybe actually kind of reminds you to check whether you received the right thing or not, because you cannot access it right away. I mean, with pointers you also cannot access it right away, but so maybe the easiest way here would be to actually return a reference, but I'm not sure about references, so... okay, thanks, you're welcome! You're welcome. Feel free to ask me anything about, ask me about anything, and I will tell you that it's horrible. A philosophical question, Pepper, think, yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with references. It's just they confuse me. Like, I'm not smart enough to use references. I like references in Rust because they make, you know, referencing, dereferencing explicit, and in C++ it's implicit, and this is what confuses me, primarily. Right, this is what primarily confuses me. Okay, so I can do something like auto weapon, and weapon has to have value, then weapon unwrap type has to be a placer, and then we do entity should. Okay, so as you can see, it reminds me to check. Right, it reminds me to check this kind of stuff. So where's another thing where we want to check something? Alright, so this is another place. It's going to be auto weapon. They should give you better English grade. Okay. I graduated 7 years ago, right? I've been in university for 5 years. And then, the last time I had like bad grades, it was like 10, let's say like at around like 3 years. Okay, so it was 15 years ago. I don't really care, sorry. I'm too old for this shit. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm too old. Has value and weapon unwrap. Ah yeah, we just need to check that it has a value, and then we should be able to do weapon unwrap. Cool. So this one is gonna be auto. This should fix you guys and apologize. Sure. I mean, back at the time, the grades were fair. So, no. Like, how, like, if you think about it, how on earth they were supposed to know that in the future I would have a better English than I had back then? So, back then I had a shitty English. I didn't speak English at all, and I didn't care. So, the grades were fair, they don't need to be fixed because they reflect the reality of the time. So, what the fuck are we even talking about? So, no, it's ridiculous. Okay, if it has a value... So weapon unwrap. And why does it even matter? It's just don't fucking matter. Grades in school don't fucking matter. The only thing that grades in school show is how, you know, how reliably you can follow instructions. They don't show you, they don't show your intelligence or adaptability or anything. They just show how reliably you follow in instructions, and that's exactly what employers want, right? So. University diploma is just a certificate. Yes, I can follow instructions. I can wake up at like very early and go to the same place for like 4 or 6 years and do what I told to do. That's what it is. So, hello, maybe just James. Welcome to the stream. Hello, James Bon9. I don't know how to pronounce your nickname. Welcome to the stream as well. Alrighty, what do we got? Oh, what do we got? Pretend is G. Okay. Thank you. I will pretend like it's G. Okay, so the enemy right now doesn't have any weapon. So it should be able to harm me. It still harmed me. Oh, because I didn't properly fix anything. Sure. Okay. Entity. Alright, if... Oh, it even asserts and shit. Okay, if weapon... Yeah, we can even get rid of this assert, I just realized that. I just need to drink some water. Cheers, by the way. Alright. So, in case of that stuff, I'll have to return this. And water. Very funny, I know. Alright, it should be like this. I could have just, you know, use it as a pointer. Hydrate bot. Is it still alive? Is the hydrate bot still alive? Because I banned it right away the first day it actually came to my channel. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. I just don't like unsolicited bots that just join my channels. Alright. And I haven't seen it in a while in other channels, so I presume that maybe it's dead already. Alright, so let's take a look at how it's gonna work. Yeah, you see, it tries to kill me. It follows me, but it doesn't have a weapon. That's why it cannot do anything. Yeah, that's cool. I like it. That's... well... oh yeah, it stops because it sees me. Yeah. Pet NPC, yeah. Pet NPC. It can even... we can even program like AI that will follow you. I think that's actually pretty cool. Yeah. Anyway, we can give it a weapon. So what I have here is... what is the... water gun. It's not really a water gun, but I mean, we don't have a proper water projectile. Pet the Zozin. Somebody needs to create a new one. Wait a second. Yes, I even know a perfect candidate for Pet the Zozin. Somebody should take Sodin Fields and make a Pet the Zozin with it. I think that would be actually pretty cool. Oh my god, the web chat is so slow. Jesus Christ. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, this one. I think that would be actually pretty cool. Anyway. So, I need to add the water gun there. So, entity. Where's the entity? Enemy entity. And somewhere here, entity, I'm gonna push a weapon, water gun. It's not really water, but whatever. Cool. What application was used for drawing on text? Just write the name. Is that a demand? I don't know, I stole all of the assets. Sorry. I don't know what the original authors of the assets used, so you can ask them. Alright, so now... I don't really like that, you know, get weapon returns a pointer. So I know that maybe is a little bit better in that regard, but it just feels like an overhead. So maybe I'm gonna refactor it back into returning the pointer, but this time if I remove this thing, the program will fail in all of the places where I need to make the changes, and I think it's gonna be easier to refactor it properly. We'll see. So yeah, so we're refactoring it back. Yes, I'm sorry chat, I'm sorry, but this time it's gonna be just like as easy as just doing this and then returning a null pointer. Right, this is gonna be a null pointer. And yeah, essentially what we can do now is just if it's null, and then we can take a type. Yeah, so first check if it's null, then if it has a type, and so on and so forth. Should be pretty straightforward. No, revert is not gonna actually do the thing. I still need to check this kind of stuff. So it has to be like this. Wait a second. Oh shit. Weapon not equal. Not equal, no. And I don't need to unwrap this thing anymore. Okay, so not equal, no. And I should be able to remove that. Maybe I'm gonna just actually take... How many of them I have? Three, at least three of them, I see. At least three of them. I don't know why I'm rebuilding Redis as well. I don't need to rebuild the Redis. I only need the debug. I think soon we're gonna make a cup of tea. I can feel it. I can feel the cup of tea coming. Because I'm running out of steam. And I'm not talking about the game distribution platform. Haha! Because that would be too obvious of a joke to make. That would be awkward. So, let me see. Something debuggers. Okay, it seems to be working. And if I go to the entity and if I go enemy entity and I remove this thing, and it should not work anymore, but it also shouldn't crash. It also should not crashy. Okay, pet NPC. Alright, cool. We're gonna bring it back. Okay, and so what did we do here, by the way? So we did a push, and yeah, I think I know what we did. Fix the crash on entities without any weapon trying to shoot. Is that a correct English? I hope it is. And let's just push that right into the repo. We're gonna just wait until continuous integration is done. And we will be about to merge all of that. Something is actually not working. That's very interesting. Not using third-party things like BTTV and FFC. My Chitterina broke. Well, it didn't broke. I broke it. Sorry. Yeah, so it's a temporary thing. I'm gonna use, Chitterina tomorrow. But hello, Discrowd. Alright. 90% of English speak English incorrectly. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I know. Alright, I'm gonna quickly go and put up the kettle. It's gonna be like super quick, like just a couple of seconds. And I'm gonna continue. So I just have a kettle in a separate room. I can bring it here, I just don't have a place, like a convenient place to plug it in. Except behind, I have like an outlet behind it, but it's not convenient. I have to bring like a stool there. And I'm gonna just keep it in the kitchen. Oh, I'm fucking coming. Hello. Welcome everyone. Hello HomePad. Hello Lego Logic 16. Welcome, welcome, welcome. An anonymous chair. Jesus fucking Christ. Is that 1000 bits? Is that a kilobyte? Did you just throw a fucking kilobyte at me? Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for supporting the channel. So yeah. I'm gonna make a cup of tea. So yeah. So I have a French piston, but I forgot to remove the leaves from the previous brewage. So I have a pro gamer move for you to show off. So I'm gonna just take and dump it here and just pretend that that never happened. And I'm gonna replace it with the new leaves. So. And yeah, I'm just waiting for the kettle in a different room to finish boiling, and then I'm gonna brew up the tea and we're gonna continue. How about that? How about that? So that's the plan. That's the plan for today. Pro tea tech right there. Yeah, exactly. Nice. Okay. Hope the music is not that loud. Music seems to be okay. So, Windows build has failed. What a surprise. Let's take a look what the fuck has happened. Building the game. Okay. The following warning is treated as an error. Declaration of game hides global declaration. See declaration of game. Declaration of game hides global declaration. See declaration of game. I think I know what they're talking about. Kind of. So it's inside of the weapon. Oh, I see. Game is also a global variable, and the reason why it's global variable is because I want to actually keep it in the static memory. But at the same time, I don't want to, touch the global variable because, maintainability and coupling. Is that? Coupling. Anyways, so, because if you have, if you have two functions, that are not dependent on each other, so these two functions has nothing to do with each other, but you have a global variable, and both of the functions do something with that global variable, they kind of become coupled, They kind of become coupled. So because by changing this variable somewhere, you can simultaneously affect both of the behavior of both of these functions, So if instead you would pass this sort of value by their parameters, so by changing some variable, you're not affecting the behavior of this function unless you actually pass that variable there or something. I'm not sure if it makes sense, but yeah. So because of that, I don't know, I have a global variable, but I still pass it everywhere just in case. I'm just thinking, can I maybe just allocate that thing in a dynamic memory once? Why not? Because nobody accessing that variable directly anyway, so maybe it's not that big of a deal, So maybe I can do something about that. But at the same time, I have other global things that I access directly. Oh boy. What if rename global variable?
What if rename global variable?
Thank you so much for 7 months of tier 1 subscription. Thank you, thank you, thank you. and welcome to our epic global variables club. That's right, we are not afraid of global variables. That's how hardcore of a developers we are. We're not afraid of variables, global variables. We're not afraid of pointers, row pointers, you know, without any lubrication and stuff like that. And we're not afraid of go-tos. So we're pretty hardcore here. Yeah. And I'm thinking maybe rename, but there's another way I'm thinking about. There's another thing I'm thinking about. We can actually bring it inside of the main. Right? We're gonna just bring it inside of the main, and maybe we're gonna allocate it in a dynamic memory instead. Oh, by the way, my kettle is ready, so let me quickly, you know, brew up some tea. Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm fucking coming again. Okay. So, yeah, we just need to wait a couple of minutes and that's gonna be okie dokie a karaoke. Alright. So, essentially what I'm thinking about is just do that, new game, that. And if I understand correctly, that zero initializes the dynamic object, if I remember correctly, right? So, yeah, it should be. And of course it's gonna cause all sorts of like errors and whatnot, because yeah, now within the game here, we'll have to access the game slightly differently. We'll have to do game arrow instead of game dot. I wonder how much that problem will cause. And that's it, actually. And that is literally it, believe it or not. Yeah, because I never actually passed it anywhere, so yeah, you can just do it like that. If you're afraid of memory leakage, so this is a thing that is allocated once and for the entire lifetime of the program, and when the program finishes, well, the operating system will deallocate it. But at any point we can do the following thing, where I could just do delete game, and yeah, we have a defer like in Go. How about that? Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? I think it's pretty cool. You can just do you know, defer delete, and it will delete it. If you're afraid of memory leakage, just don't allocate it. Yeah, I suppose. Alright, so it's in dynamic memory now. Let it leak, let it leak, let it leak, let it leak. Okay, so that should actually fix the problem. Let's see how it's gonna go. Allocate game object in dynamic on dynamic memory. I don't know, I'm not sure which one I have to use, in or on. I think it's on dynamic memory. That should fix the MSVC build. And let's push that right into the repo. So the build should be restarted already. And while the build is going, it's not a pump. Ah, okay, sorry, confused it. Chat, are you ready? Are you ready for an epic tea ceremony ASMR? I have a Christmas mug, by the way. So it's almost Christmas, but yeah, but I use it like the whole year. Nice. Absolutely beautiful. Mein Gott. Your French press is tiny. Is that an insult? It's for a single cup, by the way. It's a French press for a single cup. Yeah. I can see why it's the perfect size. Yeah. It's a very egotistic French press for a single cup. Very single. Mission Seduction, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Oh, you mean mug? Yeah, I see. So, but then you gotta get up for another cup, and that's actually a good thing because, you know, especially if you want to reduce the consumption of caffeine, right? Hello, Ep.N+5. Welcome to the stream. Yep. Streamer drinking coffee. No, this is tea. I don't really drink coffee anymore. I rarely drink it. I only drink it in a very like special situations, like for example when I'm really stressed out. But usually, okay, this branch has conflicts that must be resolved. Yeah, I just made it in French press. So French press is extremely versatile. I really like it. I really like how we can use it for both tea and coffee. Doing good, nice. Okay, so we are on an adventure of fixing the merge conflicts. It shouldn't be that difficult, to be fair. Caffeine usually doesn't help with anxiety. Yes, I know. So let me see. So how far away we are from the master? Okay, so here's us, and here's the master. Okay, so, and I think we're really far away because master actually got, yeah. This is primarily because we merged a bunch of pull requests, and I think the time has come for us to, you know, merge back. Yeah, master. And of course it should create a conflict. And let's take a look where exactly it failed. So, okay. Map mouse position, so it became... Oh shit, I see. Huh. Right, it's just a couple of places, I suppose. Yeah, so we need to pick the one that that sets motion X. Yeah, I see what's going on. It's not that difficult, actually. It's not that difficult. So we have to always favor the one that does not set anything. That doesn't allocate doesn't set anything in an SDL event, right? This has to be update mouse position, I suppose, like this. So the first conflict got resolved quite easily. Is Magit a good merge tool? I don't think so. I don't really use Magit for merging and stuff, like for resolving merge conflicts. I specifically use smerge mod of Emacs that highlights, you know, conflicts like that in the files, right? And another thing I use is in the git config. In the git config, I set conflict style div3 because I find this particular conflict style the most readable for me. I don't really like any other conflict styles, like I just don't understand them. This one I do understand, and I just set it like permanently here globally. So does that make sense? So this is like the two main things I use for resolving merge conflicts. It's just smerge to highlight things like that, and you know, the different div3. Yeah, div3 basically makes it like that, as far as I know. By default it's slightly different, but D3 like just gives you 3 options like that, and it's quite convenient. Could you buy my account, Will and Saba? I got banned because I used caps. Let's take a look. So how can I take a look at your user card? Does anybody know how to take a look at the user card? Nah, I don't know how to do that in web chat. So whisper me that message, and after the stream I will look into that, because I need to check your logs. What are the other styles? I don't know, because that's the only style I got used to, and that's the only style I use. Alright, so let's continue. So we'll have to favor the motion. We'll have to favor the motion, and yep, hope that will resolve. Click on mention works in Chitterina. I don't have a Chitterina, yeah, so that's the problem. So if I had Chitterina, maybe I will look into that, but sorry, I don't have Chitterina. So that's why I can only look into that after /user. So /user. For example, time. It's too much to Will and Saba. Cool. Messages. Is caps lock forbidden? It is not written in chat rules. You're trying to, you know, rule lawyer, which I absolutely hate. I absolutely hate when people rule lawyer. Masby says, okay, sure. There we go. How are you doing? I'd like to ask, do you back up your home folder, and if you do, what do you use to achieve that? I use rsync primarily, so yeah, this thing. So it's a very old tool, but it's quite convenient. Yeah. I usually like have several copies on remote servers and also on a hard drive. Yeah. So I also back up my stuff to these kind of things, also using rsync. So yeah. I used to use like things like Dropbox and SyncThink. SyncThink. But I didn't really like them because they working in the background, and I have like a constant paranoia because I'm not sure what exactly they're doing. So I rather prefer like just call rsync once in a while or put it in a shell or something. So just, you know, just for a peace of mind. And yeah. Prone drive exposed. Yes, exactly. It's my prone drive. I mean, who fucking stores like a porn on a hard drive in 2020? Like, just go to the porn hub. Like, people store porn for you on separate websites. Like, there's no need to use your hardware for that. It's like storing the music on a hard drive. Like, why would you do that? Like, you have a Spotify, you have a YouTube, you don't have to do that anymore. Come on. I've also checked out our div backup, which is based on rsync, for what I've understood. Oh, okay. So maybe they were trying to make rsync more like less painful to use, because you have to kind of understand how it works and remember some of the flags and what these flags do and stuff like that. But yeah. But what if the internet goes out? Well, I mean, we live in the future. Internet is everywhere, and no goes out. It never goes out. Spotify. Wait a second, is there like Pornhub? Here's $1 million idea. Pornhub has to make an Electron client like Spotify client with the offline mod. Yes. That's a fucking $1 million idea, isn't it? Well, in that case, technically you will store porn on your hard drive. Damn, how cool would it would be actually pretty cool, not gonna lie. Maybe somebody has to do that? Alright. Oh, and here's the interesting part. We don't have an access to the game anymore, so we'll have to pass the game like this. Yeah. Have to pass the game like this. Look out for careers there. Yeah, actually, I heard that from the technical point of view, developing a Pornhub is actually quite difficult. And I've seen a couple of talks on the, software engineering conferences from Pornhub developers there, where they were actually, you know, explaining how they make their whole infrastructure run, and apparently it's super difficult. Yeah. Because they have to be like available 24/7, and you know, any downtimes cause a lot of actually loss in money and stuff like that, so it's really hard. Oh, they also use PHP, yeah. I mean, Facebook also uses PHP, it's not like nothing special about that. Downtime causes customers. Yeah, exactly. You don't want to do that. You don't want to piss off your customers. Don't they use Vue nowadays for the browser client? Well, sure, but that does not contradict to using PHP on the backend. So, sure. Backend, front-end. Is downtime a euphemism? Yeah, maybe. Alright, so we're gonna put a game here, and you know what's interesting? Game, like this function, is effectively a method of game, right? Why can't we just do something like this? Like, why not? Maybe eventually we'll do that, but overall, I think everything seems to be working, everything seems to be twerking, and let me see if I didn't break anything. So we have pew pew pew, and yeah, it is working, it is updating the mouse position and whatnot. What's your take on C++ versus Rust? What is Rust? I never heard of it. What is Rust? Alright, so, and now I need to continue the merge. Okay, so we can committing the merge, and we resolved all of the merge conflicts. We resolved all of the merge conflicts, and we're ready to do a pushy. Cheers. Rust is iron oxide. Oh, this one. Yeah. The C++ code probably won't work on a very rusty computer, that's for sure. So. Okay, so we're waiting for continuous integration now. We're waiting for continuous integration. And I actually made a lot of changes. This is actually over my pull request limit, but it's just a little bit. And plus I own the repo, so I can just press merge. Ten commits, by the way. 10 commits. That's a lot. So this is pretty much the second stream I'm working on this thing. And yeah, MSVC build actually builds finally. So everything seems to be okay. Everything seems to be okie dokie a karaoke. It broke on Linux? Am I playing Whack-A-Mole or something? What? Because it was working on Linux, then I fixed it on Windows, now it doesn't work on Linux. What the fuck has happened? Is that my fault? The fuck? Alright. Oh, it could... It couldn't install. It's not my fault. It couldn't install dependencies. For fuck's sake. Microsoft. Fucking Microsoft. Alright, so now the only option we have is just rerun the whole build. Run the whole build. So we have to wait yet again. And it's so slow, god fucking damn it. Microsoft might look like Microsoft. I don't know. It's too strong. It's not you, it's the system, Kiko. Nice one. No, it's still fucking failing. But it's not failing on macOS and Windows. It's specifically failing on Linux. Microsoft is trying to kill... they're trying to kill Linux. You see, the build doesn't work on Linux. What the fuck? I don't know, man. I don't fucking know. I think this is bullshit. So couldn't connect to Azure Archive Ubuntu blah blah blah, connection timed out. Okay, GitHub status. Let's take a look at their status. So do they have any problems right now? Do they no. Do they admit to having any problems right now? They do not admit to having any problems right now. I see. Because I remember the times when the GitHub like status was an automated page and it would automatically go to yellow or red based on the amount of exceptions it receives and times out, like automatically. There was no human involved there. These days, for like, you know, public perception, they do that manually, I think, because you can have like problems for an hour and this page will show you green for the whole hour. So I don't know, I kind of like the system when it would automatically just, you know, switch to yellow or red when there are problems. So I don't know. Yeah, so they do not admit having any problems, I suppose. Alright, so we have no other choice but actually merge a failed pull request. That's right. We don't have any choice but to merge a failing pull requests. What's up, Odnan? Welcome to the stream. What's up, what's up? So, yeah. The previous one actually didn't fail, but that one fails now. Alright. I know that the build failed, but that's not my fault. I swear. Check the build logs. There we go. Check the build logs. And we're ready to actually merge that. Confirm the merge. Confirm the merge. Delete the branch. Couldn't. What the hell is wrong with UI? Why do people develop this kind of UI? Where you can see like for a fraction of a second something failing and it's not, it disappears. Like, why do people do that? Like, is it so hard to like develop UI that won't do that? I don't know. There wasn't even a link. What's wrong? What's wrong? I don't see any links. I'm sorry. And see any links. Alright. Okay, seems good. Seems good. We're ready to fetch the latest changes and merge everything. Org master, and I'm gonna remove this Scheiße. And we need to find the next issue to work on. What's gonna be the next issue to work on? Let's find out. More complex weapon system, I fixed that. Then we also fixed that on one of the pull request reviews. Oh yeah, entities, projectiles should own their own copies of animats. Yeah. So this is something that I postponed because it's not as easy to fix. But now I think we have enough information to, yeah. Right now, due to recent refactoring of assets management, they share the same state of animats, which creates weird behavior related to this one and project. I cannot speak normally. I'm sorry. So projectile. All right. So this is what we're going to work on. This is what we're going to work on because this needs to be fixed. This is a very important issue. And yeah. Essentially, let me show you what's the problem. Specifically, the problem is in animats. We're probably going to start with animats. If I can find one. Frame animat struct. There we go. So right now, frame animats store the data. Right. The data of a frame animation is the frames and how many frames you have. But on top of that, okay, so this is definition. And this is the state. This is the state. The definition never changes. So you have like a static animation, but this thing can change over time. And that causes all sorts of problems. So we're trying to store a frame animats in an asset management system, and we store this along with the state, and that creates sometimes a confusion. So these things should be like separate. The definition of a frame animation and the thing that actually plays the frame animation should be completely different things. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. We're going to try to pull them apart, into different things. So the hardest part of doing that would be coming up with the names for these two entities, right? So what's going to be called an entity that stores that, and what's going to be the entity that what's going to be called the entity that stores that. English is hard recently for some reason, I don't know. So yeah, and we have to do the same thing for samples as well. So it's going to be sample S16, right? So essentially you have a similar situation here. You have the sound and you have the current state of the sound, what we're currently playing. Panapudi, welcome to the stream. Welcome. So, but first we're going to start working on the frame animat. Yesu. Where's my tea? So let's create a separate branch. 270. And I think I'm gonna start with something super simple. Frame animat. So what I'm gonna do here is essentially so this is full. So, and this thing should probably point at full, at full via the pointer, but ideally I want it to be like a full index, right? So because then I can store this thing in our asset management system, and that will be extracted from the asset. From in. I'm not sure if. Oh yeah, I see what you guys are talking about. But the problem is that I don't know how to call this thing. Oh, by the way, this has to be like that. Well, to be fair, if you closely look at this, what is this entity? What is this entity? It's frames. Yeah. Frames? Just frames. And this thing is a frames animat. And then we can have something like frames index. Frames. There you go. Oh, what's up, Fishy Poos? Welcome to the stream. Haven't seen you in a while, by the way. And see the last part of the title and thought you were doing game development in Scratch. Well, I wasn't. I'm doing it from scratch. Yeah. So this is basically the refactoring that I want to do. Maybe it would make sense in that case to rename this to frames animat, right? So it's going to be frames animat. Yeah. And do we have any indices? We probably have something like a texture index. And where is it defined? Struct. So yeah, it is defined here. So we have all of the indices defined here. So we can do something like frames index, and I can inherit it from the index for frame index. Frames index. So this is the first change we're making. So this is the frames, this is actual frames, and now we have to go to the assets management. So assets HPP. In the assets HPP, we have to replace this thing. Get animate by ID. Do we even use that anywhere? I'm not even sure, but okay. So get frames by ID, by index. Get frames by index. And we're gonna get the frames. That's it. That's the whole refactoring that we need to do. We need to just pull apart the types and create separate like getters for this kind of things. So also we have to do frames index, get frames by ID, and yeah. So are you guys ready for an epic compiler assisted refactoring? Going through all of the compilation errors this stupid shit has caused and fixing them? You know, the usual stuff software developers do. Yes, poke. There we go. And let's go ahead and do that. Card time. Oh yeah, compiler assisted refactoring. Yeah, it is a card. It is card time. So assets. Oh yeah. So now it is frames. Frames. Assets frames. So what's funny is that frames is the name of a single entity. What if I have multiple of frames? Frames. Because I have like frames is a group of frames, right? And then I have several groups of these frames. How can I like make a multiple of multiple? Oh, I can rename frames to clip, and then I can say clips. Yeah. It's actually a little bit easier with mouse, right? Right? If you had like mouse, the plural of mouse is mice, and the plural of mice would be mice. So, right? Anyways, one plural is not enough. You make it double plural. Frames, yeah, frames. So maybe it would make sense to English supports to the arrays. I wonder if there actually like a language that supports like, you know, grammatically plurals of plurals easily just by adding like additional endings. That would be interesting, like plurals of plurals of plurals, because sometimes it's kind of needed. I don't know. But yeah. That's funny. Frame group. Not a bad idea, actually. Frame group. Yeah, let's call it the frame group. Right. So we actually hit the wall relatively early, realizing that frames is not a particularly good name for this thing. So let's go and just rename it because it doesn't really fly. This one is going to be called frame group. Right, frame group. Some people use YOL for bigger groups than all, kind of similar, but it's only for people, right? Because it's YOL. You cannot use it for like inanimate objects, right? When you're talking about inanimate objects, so it has like a narrow use, yeah. But yeah, I see what you mean. Hello, Leakage. I hope I pronounced your nickname correctly. So, you ever think? You ever think? Oh yeah, so the plural of Emaxim is Emaxim, yes. Frameson. Frameson. That's genius. Frameson. Because frame group is not really that good of a name, to be fair. It's sort of a hack. You know what? I like this idea. Hamiko, you're a genius. Yes, I'm gonna call it Frameson. Yes. Frameson. There we go. Frames, and this is Frameson. This is genius. Frameson, yes. This is what it is now. It's Frameson. Sorry. It's a several of frames. Hello, Sharp Claw. Sharp Claw. In biology, Septococcus, Septokai. Woodness, thank you so much for 11 months, actually 18 months, right? The total 18 months. I usually count the total rather than the streak. I think total is more important than the streaks. Streaks don't really that matter, I think. Thank you so much for 18 months of Twitch Prime support. Thank you, and welcome to our epic Frames Club. Thank you so much. In biology, well, I mean, I think you can come up with a simpler example like cactus and cacti. Well, yeah. But to be fair, a lot of people just say cactuses without, without worrying about this kind of stuff. Anyways, so we're gonna call them Frameson. Frameson. And so let me actually put a note. Zodingson. Note. Frameson is the plural of frames, and frames is the plural of frame. Yes, it's 2D dimension. Yeah, okay, let's actually put that. Yeah, Frameson is the plural of frames, and frames is the plural of frame. Yes. There we go. So that's a pretty good note. Frames in force density, yes. Oh, that explains it. Yes, because you have 4. The plural of 4 is force, and the plural of force is forcing. I see. Sabine pull request to the English language with your new grammar patch. Okay, git language English. Sorry, but I think English doesn't exist on GitHub, so I cannot do that. Whatness? Ahead of the time, yeah. It would be actually kind of cool if, like, people who are responsible for like standardizing like the language grammar in some countries would actually put that on the GitHub, and anyone would be able to submit suggestions or corrections and stuff like that. As far as I know, some of the branches of German government use GitHub for storing some like bills and stuff like that. Do we have any Germans in the chat who can confirm that? I remember like some like small branch of the German government like uses GitHub and actually accepts pull requests and stuff. I don't remember the name of it, but like a long time ago I remember seeing it and it was actually so cool. Because I won't be able to even find a link for that. Maybe I can just try to Google something like German government GitHub. German government GitHub. You never heard of it? God damn. It was not the whole German government. It's like it was a small like branch that did that. I couldn't find that. That was a long time ago, actually. think I was a student when I found that. Blind as fuck. Did I miss it? Did I miss it? Okay, first page. Really? Oh shit, I'm sorry. I cannot select that. It's not the first page. You think it's that? You think it's that? Because I wasn't well. Okay, so this is probably the one. Maybe, but I'm not sure actually. Is that it? Looks legit. All right. All right. So, yeah, I'm sorry for being dumb. Because I also like partially my brain still thinking about the code. So yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I guess it is still a thing. It is still a thing. So yeah, you can even find it. Sorry. Should have not even started all of that. Okay. Bundestag is jump on. Ah, okay. I didn't know that. I'm sorry. I'm so uneducated. Really sorry. Okay. So did I run out of tea already? They've got a duck in the contributor list. It's official. Nice. Frameson. So we have Frameson. Alright, let's continue going through the compilation errors and doing the compiler assisted refactoring. This one is not a frame index. It has to be frames index. Okay. Frame. Oh, I also have to rename frame animat to frames animat. There we go. So I think the next step would be actually like writing laws in like a formal programming language that is verifiable by machines and stuff like that. It's like in an actual like, programming language, like similar to Prolog. I wonder how useful would be like Prolog would be for writing laws and stuff like that. Okay, so here's the frame count. And why the frame count? Okay, so we can do something like this. The constitution. Okay, so people actually do that. People actually do that. Prolog. Oh shit. I think I vaguely. Okay, that's cool. Oh shit, that's super cool. That's an Insta star. That's a fucking Insta star. I think I vaguely remember actually that, but again, I've done so many different things that I start forgetting things like that. So yeah, for the longest time, Prolog was like a very Japanese thing. Yeah. There was like an experiment of writing like so-called like 5th generation computers that work on Prolog in Japan. That particular project failed as far as I know, but yeah. As far as I know, like in the past, Prolog was a huge thing in Japan. That is super cool. Thank you for sharing that. That's really cool. I remember you mentioned it, I think. Yeah, I also remember me mentioning it, I think, but I don't remember if I mentioned that in the context of this thing. So, yeah. Alright, we have a frame count, and one of the things I have to do, actually, I need to be able to get frames by index, right? So that means I will have to do assets, get frames, frames by index. By the way, how often does it update? Is it updated? English, come on. How often is it updated? I don't know, 5 years ago, but maybe you don't need to update the constitution very often. But I do not understand that, considering that I'm from Russia. That's funny. That should be funny at least. That's sad and funny at the same time. Yeah. Like, we update the constitution every time Putin wants to rule longer. So that's the joke. All right. So let's continue. No, I'm not from Russia. No. I'm from America, the land of freedom. Okay. So then we take frames, and that should return what? That should return a copy, I think. Yeah. So that means we can do something like frames, but this thing should be also called frames index. Then we can do frames count, and then yeah, that goes really well. Here I have some tea, Mr. Stream. Thank you so much, So Very Sour. I already actually like finished my tea. So yeah, but thank you for another one. I'm not sure when I'm gonna make another one. So maybe like in an hour or so, I'm gonna make another cup of tea. So we'll see how it goes. So I need to make a couple of renamings. So this is a frames index, but I think I kind of want to rename this thing to sprites, so we can distinguish them, and this thing is going to be called count. I think I'm making something very confusing, but okay. So this one is going to be count, frames sprites, frame count, blah 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 blah. I will see how it goes. Renamixing, yes. Did I call it frames index? No. Should have called it frames index. Yeah, coming up with a good like naming is really hard. Yeah. So it has to be frames count. It's frames count, and we have to do again the same thing here. Like every time we need to access that stuff, we'll have to do it like that. Frames count, frames current, frames count. Sprites. Very fun activity, refactoring things around. By the way, how many people are drinking tea right now? Am I the only one who... Well, I mean, we're drinking tea. Maybe there are more people who are drinking tea right now. I was drinking coffee. How was it? What kind of coffee do you drink? Do you drink Java? Sorry. Alright, so we also have a code that dumps an animation, but I don't think we use it anyway. Oh, you're drinking tea too? Nice. Haha. Imagine being C++ developer and drinking Java. So stop being so funny. I'm sorry. I think I just drank too much tea, and just too much caffeine makes me so fucking funny. Imagine being C developer and needing vitamin D. Yeah, cringe. Does this work better if I have GPU? What? I think everything works better if you have GPU, especially if you need to display something. So yeah. Do we use dump animat? We don't use. This is a dead code. Dead code. Yeah, we don't use this function anymore. So Maybe by doing this kind of refactoring, I would be able to find a lot of, like, a very old code. Very old. C++, this keyword works better if you have GPU. Oh. Yes, it does. Oh, and now, yeah, I have to refactor the entity. So instead of like frame animats indices or anything like that, I just have to do frames animats, like an actual instances of these things. Right, actual instances. Free the city, protect the entity. I don't understand this reference, I'm sorry. Alright, so now we don't even have to do that shite anymore, because we just have a copy of this thing. Yeah, we just don't have to worry about it anymore. And yeah, idle, walking, and stuff like that. Poof state loses. Okay, I do remember that. It's kind of funny how from time to time I just stumble upon this to do and try to read it and then remember, I remember what it's all about, and then just go, like, move on. Oh wait, what the fuck was that? Wait a second. This is weird. It should be just that. Okay. To-do-do. To-to. Alright, I really like where it's all going. So it's kind of interesting, like recently on the Discord, a lot of people said that they're now watching my streams from work, while working, doing their work. I wonder how many people are working right now. So how many of you are actually at the office? Instead of doing your work, you're watching a Twitch. I see you all, I see what you're doing. Oh, god damn it, it's Saturday. Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, maybe some people work on Saturday. Yes, I'm sorry. I've been streaming for 5 years, and what do you want from me? I forgot that people don't work on weekends, because I work every fucking day. So play animat index. Okay, this one is very interesting. Are you still working on aids? I mean, I work on them from time to time when I need to extend them. So yeah, I guess yes. I do not work on them actively. I just have a bunch of projects where I use them, and every time I need something from that library, I just add it there. So that's how I work on it. Is this a game? Yes, it is a game. This is how it looks like. You can do pew 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 pew. Isn't that epic? I think it's pretty goddamn epic. You can do pew 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 pew. And you can have enemies that can also do pew 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 pew. And they even have an AI. What a feature issue you're on right now? I'm on in issue number 270. So essentially, I'm just refactoring how we manage the you know, animations and stuff like that. So I'm trying to separate the definition of the animation from the state of the animation. Hopefully that will improve the asset management a little bit. We'll see how it goes. I'm not sure if it will. So yeah. So something. Okay, so I need to think how I'm gonna like go about this shit. So we have an animat index. We have an animat index, but that gives me a frame animat index. So which is not correct because we're not using frame animat index. So now I need to go to the asset typer, and replace this thing slightly. So it's going to be actually frames index, hopefully. Yeah, and then we'll have to rename this thing from animate to frames as well. So it's going to be a little bit complicated. It's going to be a little bit complicated. But we'll be able to do that. Don't worry about the chat. Don't worry about it. All right. So now I do that. Assets get frames by index. All right. Assets get frames by index. And here's an interesting thing. This is not enough to construct a frame animate. So frame struct frame animate. Frames animate actually. So what we need to have here is a way to accept an index and construct a new one here. So let me see how we can do that. Frames animate. Let's just call it frames animate, right? But Zozin, why don't you just use constructors? That's a good question. Thank you for asking it. So result. And I think so. The first thing has to be like just frames index. To be fair, if constructing the frames animate is as easy as just wrapping an index, maybe we don't even need this kind of thing. So it's kind of interesting, but maybe we don't know how exactly we're going to change it in the future. So I'd rather just do it like this. Yeah. Maybe even return it anyway. Hello, Wilson Ideas. Welcome to the stream. Okay, so let's go to the place where we have that and frames animate. So we're gonna construct it like this. So we get the frames by the index. Wait a second, since it's an index, I can just do it like that. I see. And then, all right, frame. Why am I contemplating? Why am I contemplating on such a stupid thing? I should not contemplate on such a stupid thing. I has to be confident. The confidence is the key in being successful in software development. You have to make the decision and you have to stick to that decision. There we go. The confidence. Speed, violence, momentum. Speed, violence, divorce. Alright. Let's continue. Should be okay. Grab him by the index key corner. Very funny. Haha. Very much loved. So what else do we have here? So this didn't work. Oh, you do have to initialize them, but can I then remove just remove it like that? Can I do that? Is that the thing? Or do I have to... God damn C++? Why can't you be just like C, where it will zero initialize the rest of the fields without me providing additional arguments? Why can't you just be like C? God damn C++. What can I say, chat? What can I say? It's kind of sad game. So that means we do need frames animate. Frames animate constructor. Frames animate. Just use constructor. Yeah, I'm just gonna use constructors. I'm just gonna use constructors. Frames animate. So where's the sprite? Here it is. Frames animate, frames index, and then I think the easiest way would be to do something like frames animate. I want to automatically zero initialize everything because I want everything to be zero. So result, it didn't work, or my chat is broken. Yeah, it's he was just debating you. Don't worry about it. He was just debating you. With K-Kona symbols. Right. Yes. Why don't you like using Python? Why do you ask questions with the false premises? Stop doing that. This is really rude. Okay. Cool. So this is going to be frames animate. Cyrillic A. Yes, exactly. So we're going to align that one more time. Frames animate. Cool. So we have to do that in a couple of other places. Farms. Farms. Who need frames when you can have farms? Kick code. Farms are obviously better. So when we're doing kill, poof, animate. Okay, so for projectiles, any farmers? Yeah, I am a farmer. All right. So a projectile, and here we're gonna have just frames in. Yeah, frames animate, I think. Yeah. You're also a farmer. Nice. I'm farming commits on GitHub. What do you farm? Imagine living in the middle of Siberia and not being a farmer. Yeah, I know. So here's active animate. I'm farming green squares in GitHub. Oh, makes sense. Are we doing a Bitcoin farmer? Maybe. We have all sorts of farmers here. You know, commit farmers, Bitcoin farmers, all sorts of farmers. All farmers are beautiful. Yes. So what are we doing here? So active animate, unwrap, update. This is really strange code and I should not write anything like that, but I did. So okay, so this time it's just, you know, just call update. Just call update. All right. So it's a poof animate of current frame, and this one is going to be kind of complicated because, yeah. Okay, so I think we should move that inside of the, yeah, what we're trying to do here is check whether the animation has finished. That's what we do here. We're trying to check whether the animation has finished, but we do that by trying to access like frames directly and shit like that. And I think that should be like actually abstract away to a method. So you should be, instead of writing that, you should be able to just do poof animate has finished, right? And then if has finished, then do something. So essentially, like we just wait until the animation has finished. Oh, nice. Nice number. Alrighty. So let's actually go ahead. Struct frames animate. And let's add this thing here. Has finished. Right. So this one is gonna be like this. And frames animate has finished. So this one is const, by the way, and essentially what we do, we have finished if frames count frames current is greater or equal to assets get frames by index frames index count. That is right. Cool. No declaration frames animate has finished code. Really? Did I not declare that? What the fuck are you talking about? Oh, I forgot const, of course. Cool. Asserts, oh, goddammit. I mean, yeah, right. I'm Pepega, I'm sorry. Okay, so in here, like, I didn't even have to do this kind of thing. Let me double check if I do that. So if it's... so the frame current cannot actually go... Yeah. It has to be equal. Greater or equal count minus 1. I see, I see. Yeah. Oh, hey Hudson Pots, welcome. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? So now here, we don't have to have this huge condition. We can just do poof animate has finished, and that's it. So you see how easy it is? So we update the animation. If it has finished, we switch the state. It became so much fucking readable. Oh my god, that's beautiful. I absolutely love it. I absolutely love how you can just add a bunch of methods, you know, with self-descriptive names, and the code becomes fucking readable and doesn't even need any comments. How about that? Okay, so this one is gonna be frame animate. Frame animate. There we go. Frames animate, excuse me. Alright, so what else do we have here? Frames animate. So, what else is that? That's a lot of places where we have to construct animates. So what is that? Is that something MongoDB? Oh shit! Are you fucking serious? That is scary as fuck. Oh my god. Alright. And you submitted that, I see. You submitted that. Nice. Cool. Did they acknowledge that? They didn't. Yeah, they didn't even acknowledge that yet. So you just recently, I suppose you recently submitted it. Nice. Oh yeah, I see. That's a nice one. Yeah. Path traverse vulnerabilities. It's kind of strange. So that means nobody uses like D in like in a security critical like applications, because that would have been discovered like probably. But I mean that got discovered, so that means people are actually using it. Okay. So what do we have here? So debug icon. Oh boy, oh boy. All right. So in that case, I can just do, you know, count. Yeah. I think I know what I need to do here. So this is sprites and this is count. Chat. I wanna pee. I'm sorry. I really wanna pee. So. I know that I have a bottle, but I mean, I'm trying to be a civilized person for a while. Alright, so let's make a small break, boys and girls. Let's make a small break, and you guys have fun. Yo, what's up? Welcome back. How everyone's doing? How everyone is doing? So, we can finally continue doing compiler-assisted refactoring. So, by the way, I'm really sorry that I'm using web chat again. I broke my Chatterina yet again. So, hopefully, on the next stream, I'm gonna fix it again. So, yeah. Struct assets does not have members animates. Okay, so that means we'll have to do assets type, and just use framesyn instead. Right, framesyn. There we go. Framesyn. We're hacking Ep.N+5's file system through his bot. It's very interesting. Okay, so this one is just a count, and here we have sprites. There we go. So get animat by index, and what's exactly we're doing here? This one is really strange. So we have to get frames by index. So we have gun projectile, active animat, and active animat is frame animat, and we have to do frames index. That's how. Okay, so it becomes more and more sophisticated. That's for sure. Frames index, and then here you have to do sprites. Alright, this one is just yeah, this one has to be a count. Look at that fucking expression. Gun, projectile, active animate frames index, and by that index you get the frames, and only then you get the count of those frames. To be fair, like, we actually do that twice. We could have actually maybe took the frames, right, like this. So let's put auto. So this is going to be frames, and then we could just do that like this. Not farms, frames. Is the assert method actually for testing? No, it is not for testing. It's for checking invariants in your code. That cannot be checked by a type system. So what do we have here? Jump to case const. Crosses installation. Are you serious? Is that okay? That's cool. Ah, and this is because, like, yeah. So it leaked the scope. Yeah, that's what happened. It leaked the scope. So basically, if you try to access frames from this branch, it will skip the initialization. Okay, thank you, compiler. It's actually genuinely found a bug. That's cool. Alright. That was pretty cool. So what do we have here? We load animat. So I think it should be maybe load frames. Not farm. Why keep I frames? Round bot with root privileges. As far as I know, Ep.N+5 runs his bot in a FreeBSD jail, so I don't think you can do much there, unless you can escape that jail. No declaration matches. Okay. By the way, what is wrong with you people? Why do you run your bots with root privileges? Like, why? Why do you do that? It's not that hard to just run the bot like as a regular pleb and just give it the enough access that it needs. Like, why? Why do you do that? Load frames. I still think frames is not particularly great name for this thing. So this one has to be not that actually. So assets HPP. So this is frames, this is framesim. Okay, that means I'll have to do... Oh my god, okay. So this has to be frames. This has to be frames like this. Cool. So we'll also have a sprite sheet texture and whatnot, and we'll have to actually fix all that. It also runs on a Raspberry Pi with the default password and password auth for SSH, I think. The other scripts at the root are the same people who chmod in their web service. Like, that's exactly my question. Why do you do that? So frames, sprites. There we go. But it's easier to maintain. So it should ensure Ep.N+5. Isn't what we call the this thing? Isn't this is what we call a Docker these days, right? I'm not sure if Docker uses exactly this combination of technologies, but I think that's pretty much the Docker. Yes. Okay. See. So count sprites. And this is gonna be frames. We're almost there, I think. I think we're almost there. So this is a frames count. So animate. Okay, it's a frames. And do we have a duration there? I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure, to be fair. I think I did a fucky-wacky. I think I did a fucky-wacky chat. So let me find the sprite as HPP. Let me find the sprite HPP. Yeah, there we go. So I think duration has to be a part of the frames. Yes, I think it should, because it's yet another thing that should be modified, and it's the same for like everyone and whatnot. So, and the only thing we have here is the state, basically the current frame and a frame cooldown that corresponds to the duration, but that will introduce more compilation errors that we'll have to go through. But we'll see. So, okay, frame cooldown is going to be frames duration. There we go. So, yeah, so this is how it has to go. So, this one is frames, and this is count. So what do we do here? Animate frames. Okay, frames, sprites, frame index, texture index, blah blah blah. Cool. Now. I think I know what to do here. Frames, sprites, and are we ready to finally compile that? Almost, I think. So this thing is a framesim. And this thing should be framesim count. Framesim count. Assets HPP. Where is assets HPP? Okay, there you go. Framesim count. And I need to move that node here. Right. Framesim is the plural of frames, and frames is the plural of frame. Yes. So you understood that correctly. Framesim is the plural of frames. Oh, Shazawak, hello! Haven't seen you in a while. How are you doing, buddy? Welcome, welcome, welcome. How's your quarantine? How's your work? Cheers, by the way. Did you ever heard of a language chapel? No, I never heard of it. You're fine. Cool. Really glad to hear that. Well, now, so this is animate and this is frames. There we go. Yeah. So what do we have here? Do we even use that anywhere? I'm not even sure if we use that shit. Yeah, we don't fucking use it anywhere. I might as well actually just remove all of this stuff. But maybe at some point, like you have this thing and you have to find it by ID. So in that case, it has to be for like frames index, right? It has to be frames index, and you will do something like frames, frames by ID, and instead of animats, you are gonna use like framesin. Yeah, framesin. There we go. And assets.h pp, which stands for huge pp. All right. Should be okay. Hopefully. Let's see. Doesn't even compile. So, get animat by index. It's frames animat, and this is fucking framesin. Yeah. Does not match the declaration. I see. I still don't like the name frames. I don't think it's... Still don't match the declaration. Are you fucking serious? Are you too? What the fuck? You actually get them by... I see. I see. Are we done yet? Hopefully. Forgot slash. Okay, so what do we have? We have clean here. Framesin. Cool. And this is gonna be framesin count. Alright. Sprites. Frames. So yeah, fucking did it. Fucking refactored the whole fucking thing. And I wonder if it's gonna work first try. We're about to find out. But the thing we did, we finally separated the state of the animation from the definition of the animation. So that's what we did. That took a lot of changes. That's how many changes it took. That's a lot of fucking shit. And let's just run it. Let's just run it and see. Okay, so it's plain animations. And the most important criteria of this thing actually working is that you can see poof animation of the projectiles, like a sequence of them. Look at the poof animations. They actually look really, really good. So if we go back and stash everything, let's actually quickly do that and let's rebuild everything. It's gonna look completely different. So this is before. You can barely see the poof animations. You see, sometimes they play, sometimes they don't. Do you see that? Like, poof animation is when the projectile hits the wall. Sometimes they play, sometimes they don't. And this is because the state of the animation and the definition of the animations were not separated, and they were stored in the asset system. And in the projectiles, we store index of the animation instead of the animation itself, right? And so we ended up in a situation that several projectiles actually using the same state of the same animation. And that causes this kind of situation when sometimes they play, sometimes they don't, because they share the state of it. And it's kind of dumb. So now we separated the definition of the animation from the state of it. The definition is shared among all of the entities, but the state of the animation is actually copied to each individual entity. Each individual entity has its own copy of the state, but they share the definition. You see? They have a copy of the state, but share the definition, and that's what we did. So now, if I actually, you know, go back into our fix, it's gonna look good, hopefully. Hopefully it will look good. So if I run it again, you can clearly see that they play as intended. Yeah, they play as intended. And also the same goes for these things. And that fixes the issue that was submitted by Kolumbetka, I think, at some point. But yeah, so that's actually pretty cool. Sorry if this is off topic, but what's your opinion on Rust? What is Rust? I don't know what is Rust compared to C++. If you're comparing it to C++, is that some sort of a language? I never heard of it. I'm sorry. All right. So this is the first thing we're gonna do here. Isn't Rust a JavaScript framework? I don't know. Is it? But then why are we comparing like a native system language with a JavaScript framework? I don't think these things are comparable, right? I don't think they are comparable. So yeah, like how would you compare like a system programming language with a JavaScript framework? Doesn't make any sense. All right. So 270, and what we're gonna have here, separate animation state from the animation definition. There we go. I'm gonna push that right into the repo. Rust is npm package, really? Not rot, Jesus Christ, this is not, I mean, even though it does exist, I'm pretty sure like you can put any combination of characters into npm and you will find the package. But yeah. Oh yeah, so show this React nodes whose boss. What the fuck is React? Is that what you were talking about? Why are you comparing these to C++? Command to write host port and other configuration. No, dude, come on. Okay, let me explain you. C and C++ are programming languages, okay? They are programming languages. So essentially, what is a programming language? Like it's a formal language with a very strict syntactical rules and semantical ones as well. And specifically C is used for producing like native instructions for different platforms. This is some sort of like a command line tool written in JavaScript. So these things are not comparable, right? So you cannot compare Rust and C++ because they're like completely different things. So this is my opinion. So if you wanted to know my opinion on Rust versus C++, here's my opinion. So they're not comparable. So I'm sorry. Last time it has been updated roughly the same time. Coincidence? I don't think so. Yeah. All right. So let's continue. Let's continue, boys and girls. So we managed to separate these things. And yep. Hello, Struck. Welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, okay, we did this, you know, state and definition separation for the animations, and now we have to do the same thing but for sounds. And the reason why we have to do that is because sounds have absolutely similar problem, but this is the problem that you can actually hear. Yeah. Hacks. Hacks. Yeah. So the sound starts to, like, you know, starts to become very jumbled together, and this is exactly the same problem. It's exactly the same problem. Basically, the several entities share the same samples, right? So, and basically we have to do the same thing as we did for animations, but for the sounds. All right. Alrighty. Shut, are you ready? So I need to find struct sample S16, and somehow I need to separate these two things. Somehow I need to separate these two things, and I wonder how exactly we're going to separate them. Get ready, Senpai. Well, get ready, because we're about to do that. Alright, so essentially we're going to have foo, right? And I don't know. So this could be I still want to call it sample S16, but I'm going to call it slightly differently so it does not collide with all with whatever places we refer to this type. I'm not sure if it makes sense, but yeah. So I'm going to call it like that, but this one is going to be sample S16 player. And sample S16. What the hell? Come on. Sample S16 index. Do we even have that thing somewhere? I think we do. Sample S16. Wait a second. Sample S16 index. We do have that. It's in the assets, and we refer to that here. So yeah, it has to be called slightly differently, unfortunately, because it's a completely different entity now. So it has to be like this. And then like this. Yeah, we'll have to go with the underscore. So it's gonna be a sample. And yep. Oh, we have a Dennis here? I don't see him. Where is he? Are you guys debating me? Hello, Dennis, if you joined. Oh, I see you. I see your message. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm blind today. Yeah, welcome, welcome, welcome. We're just doing a little bit of a game development. We're just developing a game. Very simple game where you can just move around and do pew pew pew. And we're using your favorite library of all time, SDL. I know that you like this library. I know it's your favorite. And I know that you use it every day for everything. So yeah. So enjoy the stream, I suppose. Now. Okay, samples. So Mixer actually contains the samples, so it actually stores like sample players, I think. Right, it stores the states. Oh, you were about to rate me. Thank you. Thank you so much for the rate, and welcome, raiders. Welcome, raiders, to a game development stream. How about that? How about that? Bet you guys didn't expect that to happen. Alright, so when I'm playing this thing, to be fair, I think I'm okay with accepting like underscore part of it, because then I can initialize like the current cursor of the currently playing audio file to 0 myself, right? So this is something I can do myself. Yeah. Which actually means this situation is slightly different. Will it compile on Solaris? Yes, of course. It Constructor will compile and stabilize. I was just doing a bit of basic math tonight and debugging stuff that was working and then stopped working and then I made it work again. Classic, am I right? Hope you enjoyed it though. So yeah. This game is written in PHP. Yes, of course. This is PHP, as you can see. This is straight up PHP. Straight up PHP. So I'm just rethinking how I'm gonna approach the problem. What does putting it in its own struct do? What do you mean? What do you mean? Putting it in its own struct. If you put something in its own struct, it becomes put in its own struct. I think that's what happens if you do that. As far as I'm concerned. You said separate them out. I missed the first part. Well, I already forgot what I said, and I don't know what you exactly want to hear. I'm sorry. It becomes put in. I'm here from YouTube. Are you planning on releasing a new video soon? I'm not sure. We'll see. By the way, hello. Hello, and welcome to my Twitch channel. So these days I'm mostly focused on my Twitch channel. I don't really have much time to do YouTube, but I really want to. And I have a couple of ideas for my videos, but I'm not gonna promise anything because then I'm not gonna end up doing anything and it's gonna be weird. So, but I do have some plans. I just need to find time and motivation to do that. And yeah, these days I just do things on Twitch. Room tour. I don't know. I need to clean it up before I can do any tour. Makes sense. Thank you. You're welcome. I mean, yes. I do understand people's concern. I feel like I'm not really good at YouTube thingy. I'm not really good at it. So I'm more of a streamer rather than a YouTuber. So you promised. I guess, but I don't know. So I need to rethink. I also need to sneeze. I think it's not as critical for sound samples. But we still need to... Okay, I see what's going on. We still need to separate them. Yeah, I see. Yeah, that makes sense. Because we can swap out those samples at any point. That's why. I remember the first day I met you on YouTube that it was epic cup. Continue. Alright, so let's continue refactoring. Refactoring. So here I put a sample, and yeah, I think we should put a player there then. Maybe we should accept an index. That's a cool idea. An index. An fucking index. Alright. So what do we have here? So when I have a sample... Wait. Do we use this type? Did I find a dead code? I'm sorry. I don't know what happened to me. Why is something sound format is... I don't remember, I'm sorry. Load wave as sample as 16. Okay, this one is really strange. Ah, alright. Alright. Extreme beer crime. Is it something TOS unfriendly? I'm actually really scared. What is that?
closet. There's a lamp back there. Pile of fucking books and shit back there. All right. There's a big ass fucking ceiling fan. Keep the air moving.
Ah, so is that a room tour?
That's a computer right there. That's a fiber storage array right there. That's two SCSI storage arrays right there.
I also see a cat.
Piles. Fuck! Beer! Fucking beer! Fucking fuck! Fuck's sakes. Alright, whose idea was it to spin the camera around? Fucking sucker.
And that's how I stopped drinking alcohol. Thank you so much for sharing. That was very cool. It's a very interesting clip, not gonna lie. And yeah. So here we have sounds, and this is gonna be just simple S16. Denise is right. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. So we're getting the sounds by index ID, so this one has to be something like this. Oh, and by the way, I think I have to do an index like this. I'm gonna quit alcohol next month. Quitting alcohol is actually hard as fuck. So, but yeah, if you manage to do that, well, you're gonna be my hero. Quitting any kind of addiction is actually really hard. I know by my own experience, because I managed to quit both alcohol and nicotine completely. And that was hard as fuck. Especially living in Russia, by the way. Imagine living in Russia and completely quitting nicotine and alcohol. It's pretty much fucking impossible. Seriously. It's hard. It's not impossible if you've never done that, but if you've got into that at least one time, it's really hard. That's exactly a good look. So it's better just never start, right? And so you don't have to quit it, but yeah. The environment in Russia doesn't really help you to quit it. So it's better to just never start. Are you even Russian if you don't drink and smoke? Nice stereotype, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Okay, so let's continue. No declaration matches. Okay, so I need to update that. I heard Russians' favorite alcohol is vodka. Oh wow, I heard that too. Nice. Very interesting. That's a very interesting fact. Alright, so here's the play sound mixer and sound HPP. Ah, this mother flipper actually takes an index instead of... Yeah, it takes an index. I guess it would depend on the parts of Russia. The best way is to physically flee from temptations, because it depends on the parts of Russia. Yeah. This week, for some reason, YouTube Music started to play Russian songs for me out of nowhere. Well, sorry. Yeah. Okay, so here's an interesting thing. So we have a bunch of samples, and a single sample. What is a single sample? Single sample is a player, so it has... to be fair, we never actually try to access the cursors outside of the sample mixer, so I think we can do something about that. I'm pretty sure we can do something about that. So here we have samples, and we can just store them as indices, because why not? I wonder how slower that will become. We'll see. And then in a parallel array, we can store the cursors, right? Simple mixer capacity. We can store the cursors. Yes. We can store the cursors. And we can essentially remove this part then. I think we could just remove this part. Actually, the Russian stereotype was the hot chicken James Bond, GoldenEye, Isabella Skoropko as Natalia Simonova. Yeah, I guess. Haven't watched it, I'm sorry. I don't watch movies at all. I'm a very uneducated person. So here's the audio length. So we'll have to be a little bit careful here because we'll have to take the sample. So it's going to be sample S16. Here's the single sample. And we do assets, get sound by index, and the index is going to be this thing. So this is how we do that. So then, essentially, we can just do curse I sample audio length. Oh, when you want to just play it, I see. We don't really have to do that anymore. So we just find a single sample for which cursor is greater than the sample audio length, and you just, I see. Which can cause very interesting problems, I think. Which can cause very interesting problems, but then we'll see if it... sample index. Sample index. Alright. What? Never seen GoldenEye? No, I never seen it. The problem... Okay, so... I have a really short attention span, I'm really sorry. And I just cannot watch movies. Like, I just cannot watch them. I can watch like for like 10 minutes. And then I get bored. Any movie. I haven't seen like a single movie that would grab my attention long enough to actually watch it. Like, maybe it's something wrong with me. Maybe it's just with my generation and because of the internet or something. But I just cannot watch movies at all. Like, it's so painful for me. Sorry. I wish I could, but I just cannot. Try the movie proof and be sure to follow the math. Maybe. We'll see. So here's this load thingy. And then I get bored, proceeds to code. Is there any contradiction in whatever I said? Right, and then I did. Like, I don't see any contradiction. Could you please show me the contradiction? Like, because I literally don't see it. So, you're trying to, like, you catch me on something? Like, I don't understand. Sorry. Okay, so, he implying coding is boring. Do you know the definition of boring then? Do you know the definition of boring? Did you know that, you know, people's brains work differently depending on the person, right? And when one person finds something boring, other person may not find that boring. Do I really have to explain such a basic things to people in the chat? Seriously? Because this kind of stuff is obvious for me, like... is it really not obvious for you? I'm sorry. Sorry. Because I just like, I always think, I suppose, that everybody knows that. Like, it's a common knowledge that everyone's brain works differently, but apparently there are people who just don't fucking know that. Okay. Cool. Nice to know. So now, here's the cursor, this is the length, and we need to get the current sample that we're playing, right? So, and it's gonna be assets, get sound by index, It's kind of sad, like every time people, you know, ask this kind of questions, it just makes me sad that I have to explain this every time. But maybe that's the job of the streamer, right? That's what you have to do as a streamer. Educate people. And I hope you got educated. Hope you got educated. So here's a sample. Sample. Get sound by index. And sample. So we can replace that here. And this one is going to be just a cursor. Hi. By the way, I think the time has come to make a cup of tea. Yes. Yes. So, yeah, I haven't made a cup of tea for quite some time. Again, I'm gonna do my pro gamer move, right? I have my French piston, but I don't want to clean it up, right? And what do you do when you don't want to clean up your French piston? Well, you just say fuck it and dump the tea leaves to a separate container. There we go. And pretend that that never happened. So, there we go. So then you just refill it with the fresh leaves and continue moving on. So, just gonna put it here. And I think I'm gonna go to my kitchen and put on the kettle. It's gonna be super quick, hopefully. Just a second. Just a second. Fucking coming. I came. What's up? How's it going? Did I turn it on? I don't remember if I turned it on. I remember pouring water into the kettle, but I don't remember pressing the button. Just a second. Okay, I did. Everything's okay. Everyone come down. I turn on the kettle. Everything's okay. Everything's okay. Alright. So what do we have here? So this has to be just curse I. Curse I. And it does not, okay, so was not declared in the scope. Really? It was not declared in the scope? Yeah, I see. God damn it. Oh shit, I think I did a fucky-wucky. Yeah, I did a major fucky-wucky. Well, almost. Yeah, okay, sample. So this is a single sample, and when we're referring to this thing, we're in fact referring to, yeah, this one has to be a mixer cursor, so curse I, and then this thing has to be a sample. A RIP Friday stream? I mean, we have a Friday stream last Friday. What are you talking about? Excuse me. What are you talking about? Friday is okay. Friday is still there. So what are you guys even talking about? Audio length, so it's actually part of the sample. I mean, the other format, the other format was dumb. Like, it's such a dumb and easy content. I really hate it, and I didn't even enjoy it. So I'm never doing it again. There's nothing like satisfying or interesting or, you know, educational about that. Just watch other people's video and react to that. Absolutely hate it. And the problem is that I don't find majority of programming stream like videos on the internet that interesting. Like, I think they're kind of boring. I'm sorry, but they kind of are. Yeah, as I already said, like the only interesting programming, like the only videos on YouTube about programming that I find interesting are either of those by John Blow or Headman Hero or by Andreas Kling, the creator of Serenity OS, because I kind of like that format of programming rather than, you know, I like when people do programming instead of talking about programming. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not really interested about talking about programming. I'm interested about programming itself, and that's why I primarily do programming myself. I think the kettle's done, by the way. No, it's not. All right. Okay. So what do we have here? So this is a sound index. All right. So here we have to be a little bit more careful. So we'll have to find the assets typer. Oh, to be fair, I also like the low-level JavaScript channel, because I think this channel is doing actually pretty cool thing. It basically explains like a very complex like computer science topic, but using Zoomer language to appeal to Zoomers. So low-level JavaScript is sort of like this channel that debates JavaScript Zoomers into learning and actual programming. So, and this is something that I can actually appreciate. This, I think this is a very cool channel, and really recommend to check it out. Right. Because majority of JavaScript Zoomers, they think they're doing programming, but in fact they don't. And this channel tries to abuse that fact to actually teach them programming, you know, because apparently programming is not just npm install, you know, website. Apparently it's more than that. And there's a lot of things you can do, like in, yeah, so I really appreciate what this channel is doing. I think it's cool. All right. Okay, so I need to go to... Oh, by the way, the kettle's down. Just a second. That is strange. Apparently it's not. I think I'm imagining things. I think I'm imagining things. Alright, so assets typer. So what we have to use here is... Now it's done. Yes. Now it's done. What happened to the Friday IQ streams? They got fucking cancelled. All right. Was not declared. Okay, that's... Didn't I... I think I'm going in circles. Need to focus on the code. I just need to add this underscore. Okay. So what is this? We have an item and... yeah, I remember this one. Kill enemy sample. Pretty sure we have set a world record for coding without checking Stack Overflow. You must be new on this channel. Welcome. It's not like I don't use Stack Overflow, but I actually use it rarely. But sometimes I do use it, of course. Okay, so what do we have here? Have an index, and that is just a sound. In this particular case, I just don't have to do that. It's gonna be just a sound. Yeah, I think we're going in the right direction. I really like where we're going. Uh-huh. By the way, I forgot to actually close the lid on my French press. My God, how could I forget? It's good not to check means you know what you're doing. Yes, that's what it means. Alright, so when I get index, okay, this has to be underscore. I think it should work. I think it should work. Why do I hear human noises? That was weird. Sound by index. So, and what does it say? It has to be underscore, I think. Do we even use that anywhere? I think it's yet another of those dead functions that I don't use anywhere. I do use it sometimes. Okay, that's very strange. And what do I use it for? Oh yeah, I see. Okay, it has to be like this. Alright. So this is underscore. Okay, it compiles. I wonder if it's gonna work even first try. So we're about to find out. But before we find out, I need to make a cup of tea. Looks okay. So chat, are you fucking ready? Are you ready for a tea ceremony ASMR? Yet another one. It's the second one on the stream. So yeah, get ready your Craigasms and Ahigaus. There we go. There we go. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed it. Yep. Please don't let it spill on the mic. Well, is it gonna be something bad? It doesn't have any. Sugar in it, so it should be okay. Smells so good. Can you smell it? I've never used my French press for tea. This must be some sort of hidden alchemy. Well, just try to use it for tea. That's it. It's as simple as that. Alright, so let me sip my tea first. So just get mentally ready for this thing. There we go. It's okay. And it didn't do anything. It's actually broken. It doesn't play anything. Fun debugging times are awaiting us, boys and girls. First thing, why did it even play anything? That's a good question. Oh, I know why. Because I'm Debugger. Because I'm Debugger. Because the indication of a phrase slot. Oh yeah. So let me try to fix that. So when I play a sample, I forgot a very important thing. I forgot to actually set the cursor to 0. So we have a buffer that is supposed to play, and we have a cursor that indicates like how much we already played, right? And when I say play the sample, I forgot to set it to 0, so it never actually played anything. So this is the first bug that we are gonna fix here. So if we put that, it will work now, hopefully. So, and it will still play some sounds at the beginning, which is also a bug, but we're gonna fix that later. Right, but now it should play sounds. So hopefully after that, sounds don't get jumbled together. Yeah. So now, basically the state of the samples is not shared between different entities, and it's actually, you know, the mixer itself can like stores the copy of that of the state of the currently playing sample. So that's cool and all. And now we need to fix that problem with a sound at the beginning, right? We can hear that it plays a sound at the beginning, and that shouldn't happen. And the reason why it does that is because this is the only indicator of a free slot in the mixer, right? Because we have a mixer, and a mixer is just an array of samples. An indication of a free slot in that array is that the cursor is greater than the length of the sample. So, yeah, we need a better indication of that. I wonder how we can even do that. Considering that the samples themselves can be reloaded like hot reloaded. So we need a more reliable indication of a free sample. Maybe we can make the cursor like signed. So it's going to become a signed cursor, and negative value is going to become an indication that at the same time I have like a very interesting principle, right? So if I design a structure, I want the structure to be valid after you mem set the whole structure to 0. After you 0 initializing everything, I want this to be a valid empty structure. So 0 initialized mixer has to be a mixer with all of the slots being free. And 0 initializing this structure doesn't make them free, because the cursor 0 just means that we are at 0's position. So we need something better than that, right? We need something better than that. So maybe we can have like an additional array. An additional array that indicates that the slot is free or not. Yeah, so like status, like state, like playing. Right, so this thing is currently playing, something like that. So this thing is currently playing, and every time cursor like sort of crosses the sample's length, we're gonna set its state to not playing. And that way, if you 0 initialize the whole structure, it's going to be a mixer with empty slots. That's going to be a thing. But to be fair, like we have parallel arrays, we might as well actually introduce like a structure sample mixer slot, or maybe even make it a part of the definition here, because we're programming in a C++ where it is okay to do these kind of things, right? So in here we can have an index, so sample s16 index underscore index. Then we also can have the cursor, u-in32 cursor, and also we can have a status whether it's playing or not. And in this case it could be a boolean, right? Because we use C++. Sometimes I forget that we use C++ and I use int instead of boolean, but then I remember that it's C++ and I use boolean. Hello runtime Igor, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Really glad to see you. Welcome. So, and instead of these things, we might just have something like slots, sample mixer capacity. Right. So there we go. And yeah, if you zero initialize the whole thing, it's going to be still a valid mixer. And yeah, let's actually refactor this thing like that. Let's actually refactor this thing like that. Can you assign empty type objects? What is empty type objects? I don't know what is an empty type object, I'm sorry. I don't really know C++ that well. Alright, so when we clean everything here... So I don't remember what exactly is clean, to be fair. So in Python, dict is a dictionary array. Cool. Slots. Playing. False. So essentially, yeah, we can just do that. Okay, so we have a samples, and this one is slightly different. So this one is going to be slots index, and that gives us a sample. Slots I cursor sample audio length. What the hell is going? I have no idea. I think we need to ban half of the chat. That's for sure. Samples sample index. So it's slot index. And because of that, I think chat Pepega is always no. Today it's extra Pepega for some reason. So it's usually less Pepega than today. But I mean, it is. Maybe this is because it's Saturday, like you know, lazy Saturday. You know, finally the weekend has started and everyone's just relaxed and being extra Pepega. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. All right. So slots index. Slots cursor sample audio length. Slots cursor slots cursor. We're almost there, but we also need to take into account the playing. Okay, so I refactored everything, right? I refactored everything to like match the new slots idiom that we put into the mixer, but it's not gonna really work because we need to take into account the playing field and whatnot, right? So we have to take that into account. So let's go to the sounds and play the sound. All right. So when you play in the sound, we have to set the cursor to 0, index to the expected index to play, and playing to true. There we go. So this is how we indicate that we're currently playing. So we load some stuff in here. It doesn't really matter. Then, while we're playing everything, right? While we're playing everything, once we sort of reach okay. If the cursor less the sample audio, we take this thing and increment it, and we just put it into the output. I see. What I'm thinking, by the way, is that we should simply ignore the slots that are not playing. So we're gonna have something like mixer, slots I, playing. We're only handling those that are playing, right? So we're only handling those that are playing. If you're playing, right, and After doing this operation, the cursor has become greater or equal the length of the sample. We take that slot and marking as not playing, like this. You see? So this is the this is where it all starts. This is where we handle all of this like playing stuff. Huh, that's cool. So now at the beginning it doesn't play anything, but if I it still doesn't play anything. Nice. Why? Like I say playing true, and if it's playing, I don't know, it's kind of strange why it didn't work. Why it didn't work? I probably missed something. I'm not sure what exactly I missed. Maybe it didn't set play. So, it just feels like it just doesn't say set playing. That's what it feels like. So, but what is the output length? Okay, so here's the output length. We go through it. Maybe we should check it like somewhere here. After we copied everything. Yeah, after we copied everything. I'm not sure. Okay, so maybe it should be somewhere here. Chat is dead, Pepper Hands. Well, I'm sorry. Oh, and by the way, slot has to be allocated here. Sample audio buffer. So here's the sample. Then we iterate through all of the output. Then we add that sample. And after modifying all of that, that should work. But it doesn't, and I'm not really sure why. To be fair, I'm not quite remember how exactly the sound system works, but it doesn't seem to be working at all. So if I remove playing situation here, will it start playing? Will it start playing? Let's see, let's see. It does play. It only feels like this is not properly handled. Like playing variable is not properly handled. So it's really strange. So you set the cursor to 0, then playing to true, and then if it is playing, right. If it is playing, you take the sample, you iterate through output length. Get the X. Slot cursor plus 1. I just don't see why it wouldn't play. Okay, let's actually do debugger. Let's actually do debugging, because this is one of the times when like we need to debug that. Let's put the breakpoint somewhere here. Let's break something, something sound CPP 67. Unfortunately not 69, but yeah, 67. So just break here. Let's just run, and it already broke. It shouldn't break. Why did it already broke? All of them must be 0 at the beginning. This is already very suspicious. All of them must be 0. Why they are not 0? Why they are not 0? Okay, so I take a look at the tree. And can I print mixer slots I playing? Are you fucking serious? Am I... Am I crazy? This shit is false. I forgot... Really? Oh my god, Jiang, I'm so sorry. Did I really forget to compile? Oh my god. I'm so sorry. By the way, hello Jiang, welcome to the stream. God damn it, I feel so bad now. Hello Jiang. I'm so sorry. Well, I mean, it probably just should work now then. No, it doesn't. Okay. It doesn't work. Okay, so let's go to the debugger then. God damn it, I feel like a moron. Oh my god. Why am... Well, I mean... That's why I'm unemployed, I suppose. That's why I'm unemployed. Alright, let's just run it. Okay. And... It never set to true. It's never set to true. Really? And I think I know why. Because I'm an idiot. The criteria. Okay, that was really useful. That was really useful. So even though debugger didn't show directly the problem, by doing the debugging yet again, I managed to find the problem. So it's not about that. Yeah, yeah. You're not unemployed, we hired you to write the clever games and stuff. You didn't hire me. You're not my employer. So if you really want to know who I am, I'm a contract salesman who work for Twitch. I sell Twitch subscriptions. So my employer, Twitch is not even my employer, okay? So I just have a contract. And I don't even work as a programmer, I work as a salesman. So yeah. So you're not my employer, that's for sure. Do you use formatters such as Clang for format CPP? Right now, no, I don't. The fuck?
Thanks fossil link to M.
You're welcome. And thank you so much for buying 500 bits. Oh my god. I think this is how I should thank people from now on. I'm not gonna say thank you for subscribing, I'm gonna say thank you for buying subscriptions and thanks for buying bits. Just to be constantly aware that I'm not really a programmer, but actually a salesman. Oh shit, that's a cool idea. Yes, thank you for buying bits. I really appreciate that. So maybe this month my employer will give me more money. Well, Twitch is not my employer, by the way. So we have a contract. Alright. Yeah, if not playing. Thank you, Top Wild. Thank you, thank you. Leaked Monk Omega? What leaked? Did something leak? I didn't think something leaked. We managed to fix that. And There we go. I think we fixed it. So now we did the same thing, but for the samples. We separated the state of the samples, the definition of the samples from... we separated state of the samples from their definition. That's what I was trying to say. Alright, so... but also I need to now remove these car assistant markers. I think this is how I'm gonna call them. So I just put some underscores so the new types do not collide with existing types. Yeah, and we'll have to do another round of, you know, going through compilation errors because I need to rename those types back. So we'll have to do query replace sample s16 index underscore to sample s16 index. Right. Okay, so let's go here, and this is kind of similar. This is kind of similar, but like this. Alright, there we go. Tea time, yeah, thank you for reminding me. Cheers, by the way, everyone. Merry Christmas! Anyway. Oh shit, that was kind of scary. So I have to do something like this first, and then maybe something... sitting on the back seat. Yeah, exactly, that's the definition of back sitting. Just sit in the back seat. And I have a cool idea. So I have a couch here, so I can put a monitor on it and put the chat there. So, and pretend that chat is backseat. Right. Just, yeah. I just need to, like a second monitor and just put you there on the place of the backpack. It's gonna be cool. It's such a cool idea. Wait a second. Yeah. Just at least a copy of the chat, right? And every time somebody's backseating, I can say, yeah, chat is just backseating. No, green screens, like, they look fake. I want the real shit, okay? So I want everything to look real. But I need a second monitor. To be fair, like, I can buy a very cheap monitor, so they actually don't really cost that much. But I don't really have... Okay, so the only port on my laptop I have are VGA and HDMI. So I'll have to buy HDMI one. Oh yeah, by the way, a cool thing. I already showed that thing multiple times, but not everybody saw that. I'm really sorry for talking that close, but it's a secret. Don't tell anyone. Just a second. But I'm using VGA. Imagine using VGA in 2020. Can you imagine that? But yeah. But the reason is why I'm using VGA is because I have a very old monitor that only supports VGA. So yeah. My day is ruined. You're welcome, by the way. My eyes are bleeding. I knew that you guys are gonna like it. I knew that you guys are gonna like it. I mean, VGA is a server-grade technology. Like, you know, the servers all support VGA. Do they not? I think. So basically, I'm streaming from a server laptop. This is a server laptop. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna call it. It's not a boomer laptop, okay? It's a server laptop. A professional server laptop. Alright. That's what it is. Okay, so we also have the... Oh, and I have to do assets typer. Assets typer. Imagine watching Sodium on 20 4K HDR monitor. Well, I mean, I don't really stream in such a resolution at all, so I don't think it's going to be a pleasant experience, but you can try. VGA is a Zoomer technology for service. Yeah, the real service run on serial only. Yeah, that's true. It's fucking true. And we're almost there, I presume. Well, no, we're not. Real boomer servers use lamps. Fucking Zoomer transistors. Everything looks okay. So let's do a committee chat. Are you ready for a little bit of a committee? And maybe even push. 70 and I'm actually thinking. Nah, I shouldn't think. Thinking is bad. Just write code. Don't think, just write more code. Separate state from definition in samples, in sound samples. There we go. So now we should have properly separated everything. So let's try to rebuild the whole game and see how it rebuilds. Okay, and we're ready to make a pull request. Chat, are you ready? Are you fucking ready for a pull request? Because we're about to do that. Okay. Separate state definitions, state from definitions for sound samples and frame animations, and that thing is gonna close the issue. 70 entity protection, the copies of element, blah 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 blah. And yes, I'm ready for MR, not PR. Goddamn GitLab users. Imagine using GitLab in 2020. Cringe. Everyone uses SourceHub. By the way, does anybody use like a Bitbucket these days? I remember that. I'm so old, the chat. I'm so old. I remember the days when Bitbucket was the big competitor of GitHub. Did you guys know that GitHub had a competition back in the days? I remember that. Yes. Anyway. Bitbucket. Yeah. Fuck it. And the joke here is that at the time Bitbucket supported Mercurial instead of Git. So yeah, Git fucked. Does anybody remember Mercurial? Does anybody remember that thing? I feel like such a boomer. Jesus fucking Christ. She was awesome. Yeah, unfortunately it lost the big version control war against a version control system written by an open source celebrity. Unfortunately, HG didn't have an open source celebrity behind it, so that's why it lost. Sorry. Yeah, you better be written by fucking Linus Torvalds if you want to be successful. Cheers, by the way. So, this thing compiles. That's pretty cool. Let's merge that. And let's delete this branch. Let's straight up delete it. So we did a bunch of refactoring today. That was cool. That was very useful. because the refactoring reduces the technical debt, and the small technical debt leads to a faster implementation of features, right? Everybody knows that. So that's why it is important to refactor things. I hope this is going to be the last asset system refactoring that I've done, because we've been refactoring the asset system for quite some time already, and it feels pretty refactored. But unfortunately, boys and girls, it is time for me to go. Thanks everyone who's watching me right now. By the way, now I can just zoom in on my face when I do signing out. Thanks everyone who's watching me right now. I really appreciate it. Have a good one, and I see you guys when? Guess when I'm gonna see you? I'm gonna see you all tomorrow, because we do this shit for the whole weekend, right? Every weekend we stream a game development for the whole weekend. So tomorrow we're gonna continue doing this thing. So also check out the schedule for more information on different projects we're working on. Right, and also don't forget to check out our VODs channel, where we archive all of the streams. So this stream is going to be available on that channel, but tomorrow we usually upload VODs on the next day, right? And also check out our Discord community for offline discussion with the community. So yeah, that's it for today. Thanks everyone, and I see you all tomorrow. Love you all. Mwah.